Myths versus facts about whistleblowing. Hi, I'm attorney Jason T. Brown from Brown LLC, former FBI special agent and legal advisor. If you've ever thought about blowing the whistle, you might have come across conflicting information about what does it really mean to be a whistleblower. There are a lot of myths out there, some of which discourage people from doing the right thing. In this video, I'm going to tackle some of the most common myths about whistleblowing and replace them with facts that you need to know so you can understand what it actually takes to come forward, what protection exists, and why whistleblowers are so important. Myth number one, you need absolute irrefutable proof before blowing the whistle. A lot of people believe they must have a perfect, airtight case, complete with stacks of documents and emails, before they can even consider coming forward. While having strong evidence certainly boosts your claim, it's not necessary to gather every last piece of proof on your own, and in fact, gathering evidence the wrong way can lead to termination from work or other severe legal consequences, which is why it's critical to have a whistleblower lawyer on your side early to guide you about how to gather evidence the right way. And the fact is, you may be the proof. Your information alone may be sufficient to proceed with the case if it's sufficiently detailed, even if you don't have your hands on physical evidence. Your testimony is the evidence. Many whistleblower programs allow you to present information, and the government decides whether it warrants further investigation, which is why it's critical to have firms with former government officials like Brown LLC on your side who can seamlessly interface with the government and the Department of Justice. Think of it like reporting a crime. Law enforcement doesn't expect you to solve the case, just to provide credible information. That's another reason to have a whistleblower law firm with investigative experience, like one led by a former FBI special agent who grew up idolizing Columbo and has taken down some of the most sophisticated criminals and defendants. Myth number two, whistleblowers always lose their jobs. Fear of retaliation is one of the biggest reasons people hesitate to speak out. They imagine being blacklisted or fired on the spot the moment they raise any concern. Retaliation does happen, and it's certainly not something to take lightly. There are extensive legal protections in place designed to shield whistleblowers from adverse actions. The fact is, most whistleblower laws include robust anti-retaliation provisions. Under statutes like the False Claims Act or various SEC regulations, employers who retaliate can face significant penalties. Employees who experience termination or adverse actions can sue for back pay, reinstatement, and other damages. Whistleblowers, though, who report misconduct internally without an attorney often end up being blamed for the wrongdoing themselves and fired. That's why it's crucial to have a whistleblower lawyer on your side before saying anything to anyone except for the lawyer, and that's your own lawyer. It's true that whistleblowers sometimes lose their job when discovered, which is why you file confidentially and anonymously in programs that permit you to do so with an attorney like SEC, CFTC, AML, and IRS whistleblower programs. The defendant may never find out it's you. When you file with the False Claims Act, there are certain steps you can take that may shield your identity, but lead you to a lesser recovery if successful. But since the case is filed confidentially under seal, no matter what route, you have plenty of time to plan for your parachute, and that's part of what a good attorney is going to do with you. Myth three, whistleblowers are just out for the money. Some people think that whistleblower has a negative connotation, painting individuals as motivated for just political or personal gain. Hundreds of millions of dollars each year to go to whistleblowers, so there is a lot of money available for people who blow the whistle the right way. The fact is, whistleblowers often risk a lot: professional and personal relationships, reputation, and emotional well-being. Even when monetary awards are available, the road to receiving one is long, and most cases just don't result in an award. If someone's just in it for the money, they'll probably be disillusioned at the end of the day. But if the individual has a sense of justice and wants a wrongdoer to correct their practice and goes about it with a noble heart, hopefully you will obtain a worthy result. Myth four, blowing the whistle means going public and becoming a household name. Ed Snowden, Chelsea Manning, and codenamed Deep Throat are a handful of whistleblowers who became household names. Many people fear that the publicity from filing a whistleblower claim will be too much. But the fact is, how many whistleblowers can you actually name, especially outside of politics? Probably not even one. Even from the three I listed, Deep Throat, of course, was a code name. And just like he used a coded name, many whistleblower programs allow you to stay anonymous, like the Securities and Exchange Commission's whistleblower program, IRS, AML, CFTC. With the use of an SEC whistleblower law firm, you could stay anonymous from start to finish. Even the False Claims Act, cases are initially filed confidentially under seal, which means you remain out of the public record while the government investigates. At Brown LLC, we like to have our whistleblowers fly under the radar. Other firms may go for the big parade. That's not consonant with our philosophy. Myth 5. If you don't see immediate results, you filed a weak case. Whistleblower cases often involve lengthy investigations that take many years, especially the more promising cases. Government agencies are constantly triaging, so they have to sift through an enormous amount of data, conduct multiple interviews, and coordinate with other departments. The fact is, a slow-moving investigation doesn't necessarily indicate a weak case. On the contrary, it can mean the wrongdoing is so pervasive and extensive the government or your legal team needs time to piece everything together. For example, in 2024, Brown LLC had the whistleblower case of the year that in aggregate settled for $950 million. A case like that takes many, many years. And even if you have an agreement, a settlement agreement, it could still take a year or more to get paid. Persistence and patience are key. If you're concerned about the progress of your case, having a communicative attorney is the best way to make sure that you're updated and have reassurances about where the case is probably heading. By separating myths from facts, it's evident that whistleblowing is very nuanced. It ain't just about the money, it's about upholding truth, justice, and the American way in the face of adversity and legal or unethical behavior. If you have doubts or questions about what you should do, speak with one of the best whistleblower law firms. At Brown LLC, we help potential whistleblowers understand their rights, the protections available, and the best strategies for bringing wrongful acts to light so they can be held accountable. If you're thinking about blowing the whistle or have suspicions of fraud and not sure about the next step, don't let these myths stand in the way. Reach out to us for a free confidential consultation. We'll help you sort through the details, understand the relevant laws, and take steps to protect your interests in your future. The fact you made it to the end of this video means you're seriously thinking about what you should do. Don't have that conversation alone because you are not alone. Speak with an accomplished whistleblower law firm to educate yourself about your rights and routes. We thank you for tuning in, and remember, the courage to speak up can make a real difference. Your information can help save the taxpayers' money, protect our soldiers from inferior equipment, improve the healthcare system, and even save lives. As Winston Churchill, the famous statesman, once said, courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. If you have the knowledge, the courage, and the will to do what's right, you are not alone. At Brown LLC, we stand with whistleblowers who stand for the truth.